Meantime, buying a home is challenging and sometimes a pretty risky endeavor. Now a new state law, though, about the use of home inspectors will go into effect on Friday.
Now, while supporters say it should help home buyers, particularly those in the market for the first time, not everyone thinks this is going to be a good idea for the overall real estate market. Finding a house has never been more challenging for first-time buyers in eastern Massachusetts. The median price of a single-family home is now $988,000.
It's been frustrating.
Last month, we introduced you to Tina Schuker. Despite a good career in sales, she can't get an offer accepted.
The problem is that I'm competing against companies that do home flips, and they have cash to buy properties and skip inspections and all of that stuff.
Skipping a professional home inspection can make an offer more attractive to a seller, but it also comes with risks.
What the legislation does is make it against the law to condition the sale of a property on waiver of an inspection.
This new law is part of the Affordable Homes Act, which was signed by Governor Healey last August. It's one of about 50 housing initiatives in the $5 billion plus law. State Senator Will Brownsberger was part of the Senate conference as the bill went through the legislature.
So the first-time buyers, and the people that are, we're trying to help in the housing market, are especially disadvantaged by that market dynamic of private equity, trying to be players in local real estate, snapping up properties.
Brownsberger says those types of buyers are better suited to handle the risks of foregoing an inspection. One reason the Senate got involved was because of this: tainted concrete used in houses in central Massachusetts. It was a story 25 Investigates first told you about. Hundreds of home buyers left with big bills to make their homes not only safe, but even livable.
We recognize that it's complicated. We recognize that rules like this can have unintended consequences. So we left the details of that to Housing and Livable Communities to put out some regulations.
What happened here isn't right. It takes away rights from buyers and sellers, and it's a real problem.
Anthony LaMacchia is the CEO, broker, and owner of LaMacchia Realty. He's not opposed to home inspections. In fact, he thinks they're often a good idea. But it's the second part of the new law that really bothers him. It would prohibit, quote, accepting an offer if the seller has been informed in advance that the prospective buyer intends to waive their right to an inspection. In other words, inspections are no longer negotiable.
So it's literally going to prohibit realtors from doing things that they are supposed to do. You are supposed to convey what a buyer is trying to achieve. You're supposed to advocate for the advantages of the seller taking your buyer's offer. Now, if a seller hears that or a listing agent hears that, they're not supposed to take the offer. It doesn't make sense.
It's to remove some of the advantage that those cash buyers have.
Listen, this is capitalism. And in capitalism, there are highs and lows in all different ways.
Now, as said, the Office of Housing and Livable Communities was given the job of crafting the actual regulations, so there's still a lot of confusion about how this will be implemented and enforced. Senator Brownsberger told us it's common for the legislature to approve an outline of their intentions and then have the appropriate agency fill in all of the specifics. Now, although the Housing Office had a deadline of June 15th, the new guidelines will officially become law on Friday.